Now on to some bad news. Death has struck the Odinga family again. Beryl Achieng Odinga, the sister to Oburu Oginga and late Raila Odinga, is dead.
Familia ya Odinga inaomboleza tena kufuatia kifo cha Beryl Achieng Odinga ambaye ni mwanawe marehemu Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Beryl aliyeishi maisha ya kimya kimya ameripotiwa kufariki baada ya kuugua na kulazwa katika hospitali ya Nairobi kwa matibabu. Beryl amefariki mwezi mmoja tu baada ya kifo cha nduguye mkubwa Raila Odinga mwezi uliopita.
Now in case you're wondering whom Beryl Achieng Odinga was, here is a footage of the late Raila Odinga introducing his sister to the public during one of those profound political events. Roll the tape.
Hiyo ndio classmate ya Kalonzo.
Hello.
Beryl Achieng.
Hello. Okay, I normally don't delve into politics, indulge in politics. I'll talk in English a bit. Everybody normally says they don't know me. They only know my sister Ruth and my sister Akinyi. My name is Beryl Achieng Odinga, and I'm proud to say I'm the only one amongst my siblings who attended school here in Kenya, university in Kenya. Mama Ida Odinga, who was my colleague in the women's box, we stayed together. Professor Nyong'o, we were in university together, him as a teacher as well as Anyang. Now I want to say...
Now to the Odinga family we say pole sana. It is not very easy to go through that loss again for the second time, just weeks after losing the ODM leader Raila Odinga. May God comfort the family. Now in this video I want us to look into some 3 less known facts about the deceased Beryl Achieng Odinga, the sister to the late Raila Odinga and Oburu Oginga. And with no further ado, let's get into it. Now the first less known fact is that Beryl Achieng Odinga was the first black person to serve as the town clerk of Mutare in Zimbabwe during the early days of Zimbabwe's independence. And this happened because she had apparently gone to Zimbabwe to start a fresh life. Now this came to pass because she had gone to seek asylum in Zimbabwe in the 1980s. And as a result of settling down in Zimbabwe and starting a new life, she had an opportunity to become the town clerk of one of Zimbabwe's prominent towns. Now the second less known fact about the deceased Beryl Achieng Odinga is that she had an opportunity to serve as the chairperson of the Nairobi Water and Sewerage Company in 2020. And with this came a lot of transformation, because during those days there was a lot of problems in service delivery emanating from system inefficiencies, and she had an opportunity to bring stakeholders together to sort some of the problems that the water company was experiencing at that moment. Now the very third and the last and the most interesting bit about the deceased Beryl Achieng Odinga is that she was once in a toxic marriage. She got engaged to a toxic man called Ambala, and this is the man that made her life become extremely unbearable in this country. That interestingly, she had to go to Zimbabwe to start a new life, to seek asylum. The marriage between Beryl Achieng Odinga and this gentleman called Ambala, who was a politician by then, did not work because Ambala was using Beryl Odinga for political mileage. He wanted to get to Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, the father of Raila Odinga, through Beryl. And Raila Odinga himself talks about this in an entire page in a chapter in his book called The Flames of Freedom. And I just want to show you 2 pages of that chapter so that we read it together so that we get the context of this matter. Now this is chapter 9, Beryl and a Painful Awakening. This is a summary of this chapter written by Raila Odinga himself. Ambala, remember Ambala was Beryl's husband. Ambala uses my sister to get family support for political ends. An ill-advised marriage goes wrong. Beryl moves to Zimbabwe with her 2 daughters. Ambala fights for custody of the children, and the Zimbabwean court hands them over. A distraught Beryl returns to Kenya. Ambala uses Kenyan law to seize her passport. I help Beryl get a Ugandan travel document. Beryl returns to Zimbabwe and builds her life there. Unpopular Ambala loses game seat to Ongili Owiti after election petition. Owiti wins subsequent by-election. Owiti is found dead. Ambala is charged with murder, then dies of a heart attack on remand. Beryl is reunited with her children. Now, this gentleman called Ambala is the reason why Beryl Achieng Odinga had to seek asylum in Zimbabwe. He made her life become unbearable. Remember, Raila Odinga has told us in the summary of this chapter 9 that Ambala later on was charged with murder, and had Beryl stayed in the country, probably she would not have lived to see the light of day due to the toxicity of her husband and father of her two children. Now, this underscores the fact that gender-based violence did not begin yesterday. Gender-based violence is something that has been there since time immemorial. Now, with that, we say pole kwa familia. May God comfort the family of Odinga. May God comfort Oburu, Mama Ida, and the likes, and the rest of the family. And for us here, we say, do all that you can to serve humanity and God when you are still alive. Now, do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more informative content such as this. I am committed to informing, educating, and entertaining in a manner that mainstream media cannot. And if you're watching for the first time, please check out my YouTube channel, and I guarantee you're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature, of politics, policy, and governance issues in our country. Until next time, let us meet up in the video that's coming immediately after this.